Hi guys, I know I said I was going to do a Real Care 2 demo video today, and I'm sorry that probably won't happen today, probably Sunday or Monday. I didn't honestly think today would affect me as bad as it has been. 1 year ago today, at around 9 p.m., I got a reverse phone call from the Fargo Police Department. We were still registered to our old residence, and it said, active shooter in area, please retreat to your basements. Now, we didn't live there at the time, but it was still very I can't describe the feelings that I felt, like looking at the address, and this address was less than a block away from our former house. Little did I know that was the beginning of a nightmare for the whole town. 1 year ago today, a friend of mine responded to that call. Now, he was a high school friend. We went to school together. We had a bunch of classes together. We had lost touch mostly in adulthood, but I mean, I still thought of him often. We had some kind of crappy neighbors that we did have to call the police on quite a few times, so he did respond to some of those calls because our area was his jurisdiction. He got shot by somebody who badly needed to seek mental help. And this just goes to show how bad the United States mental health, how horrible it is. The guy's wife knew he needed mental help. She had been trying to get him help. But because he wasn't an immediate threat to himself or others at the time, there was like a 6-month wait list to get him inpatient anywhere. 1 year ago today, a man who should have never had a gun. He was already a convicted felon for murdering somebody with a gun. But he got a reduced sentence. I don't know how. He was clearly somebody that was troubled. A judge granted him, under a loophole in the law of the state of North Dakota, to bear firearms. He should have never had them. The police and my friend Jason responded to this call of distress coming from his adult son and his wife. They got out of the house, but as Jason was setting up the perimeter, he was shot by this person. And subsequently, in the wee morning hours of 1 year ago tomorrow, Jason passed away. He was killed in duty. And I honestly did not think this would affect me like it has been today. I got up and saw this on the police department's webpage. Hopefully you guys can all read this, because I probably will start crying again because I'm on the verge of tears right now. I woke up and read this and started crying. Another good friend of mine went through the academy with Jason. They were in the same academy for police training. She went on to become an officer in another town close to Fargo. But her and Jason were still pretty good friends. And she was beyond a loss last year. So I took my kids to school. I came home and laid down a little bit because I wasn't feeling the best. And I woke up on Facebook from a message from her. And the tears started all over again. I'm making this video quickly. I'm going to be going to our local, maybe if I can zoom in. Sorry, the battery died. See if I can zoom in if it would be easier to read without all the little wavy lines. I am making this video quickly before I run out to our local donut shop. I will be ordering 3 dozen donuts that I will be picking up tomorrow and delivering to our local police department in memory of Jason. I mean, it's just one of those days that, you know, hug somebody you love. Like, hold those loved ones tighter. And if you can, even if it's as little as taking a piece of paper and writing "thank you for all you do," and taking that piece of paper to your local police department, I really encourage my viewers to, you know, do something in remembrance of Jason. I mean, he was a fantastic guy. In high school, if you were feeling down, he would be there to make you laugh. Like, he always had, as you can see in the picture, he always had that smile on his face. I can think of very few times he didn't have that smile. He was a great guy. And from, like, his close friends in adulthood, he remained that great guy. So, I'm not saying to do as I do with the donuts. Last year, when it was 3 months after his end of watch, I took donuts to our local police department. And I told my husband every year on February 11th, no matter where we live, in remembrance of Jason, I will be taking donuts. And I know it's a cliche. If we honestly had the money, I would be taking Domino's pizza because that's what he loved. But donuts are a little bit cheaper, and honestly, officers, they don't, just the fact that somebody appreciates them. I know last year, I've mentioned before, I sell Tupperware. I can't even think right now. My manager. My Tupperware manager, I believe is what her title is. Husband is a PD in the city that we used to live in. And when I took the donuts there last year, she knew about it. Because I asked her, I'm like, how do I go about doing this? And she hooked me up with the officer that was on duty. And my kids and I went there and dropped them off. Her husband had no idea about it. And that night he came home and he goes, you would have never guessed what happened today at work. And she's thinking, okay, what? And he's like, somebody brought in donuts in remembrance of Jason Moszer to thank all of us. And apparently, it lifted the spirits of a lot of officers in that office that day. So as much as just thanking a local officer, as I said, even if you have kids, have them make thank you cards. You know, are there bad cops out there? Yes. Are there good cops out there like Jason? Yes. And that's in anything you do. There's going to be good and bad people in anything you do. So I really, really, really encourage people in remembrance of Jason, please, you know, thank an officer in any way you can. As little as just a thank you note that says, you know, thank you for all the hard work you do. Or as much as delivering a bunch of pizzas to the local police department. So I better get going to get those ordered before they close. I know this is kind of a downer, and then especially after yesterday's video that was a serious talk. Sunday, I should be back to the normal self, but thank you for watching.